Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves baseball. We got the St. Louis Cardinals traveling to Milwaukee for game one of a doubleheader here on July 30th, 1961. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off playing second base is Julian Javier. Batting second playing right field is Joe Cunningham. Batting third playing first base is Bill White. Batting fourth playing third base is Ken Boyer. Batting fifth playing left field is Stan Musial. Batting sixth doing the catching is Carl Sawaski. Batting seventh and playing center field is Charlie James. Batting eighth playing shortstop is Bill Lillis. And batting ninth doing the pitching is Ray SADECKI. And let's take a look at the Milwaukee Braves home team starting lineup. Leading off playing center field is Felix Montelia. Batting second playing second is Frank Boland. Batting third playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth playing right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting eighth doing the catching is Sammy White. And batting ninth doing the pitching is Lou Burdette. Let's get down to the field here in Milwaukee and get this game started. And leading off for the Cardinals is Javier hitting 307 on the year. And here's the pitch from Lou Burdette. That's a fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas is getting under it, and he's going to make the catch, folks, for out number one. And that'll send up Mr. Cunningham, and he's hitting 302. And here's the pitch to Cunningham, and that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Who's calling for it but no other than Eddie Matthews. He makes the catch for out number two. So there's two away here in the first. That'll bring up Bill White. Bill White's hitting 268 on the year for the Cards. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield also. He's calling for this one. This time it's going to be McMillan down at short calling for it. He makes the catch out near the grass. And that'll be it for the Cardinals. 1, 2, 3. They go. And we go to the top of the first. Bottom of the first, rather. It's nothing. Cardinals nothing. The Braves coming to bat. Felix the Cat, followed by Boland and Matthews. Felix is only batting 130 on the year, folks. Not doing well at all. That's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Charlie James is out there. He steps in a few steps, makes the catch for out number one. And that'll bring up Frank Boland. See if Frank can get on board here for the big boys. He's hitting 298 on the year, having a great year, Frank is. And that's going to be another fly ball out to center field. And Charlie James is back and makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down. Both of them fly balls to center. Excuse me. Here's Mr. Matthews. Can he get something going hitting 303? And that's going to be a ground ball down to Javier at second. He's up with it. He fires over the first to Bill White. And that'll end the inning for the Braves. We go to the top of the second. It's 0-0, folks. And now we got Ken Boyer up. Ken Boyer is batting 338 on the year, folks. Having a heck of a year for the Cards. And that ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is back. And that ball is gone, folks. Home run, Ken Boyer. Just like bring up Stan the Man Musial. Stan is hitting 300 on the year. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the center field. And that ball is going to drop out there for a base hit. Stan the man's aboard now with nobody out. And all of a sudden, Lou Burdette's having a little bit of trouble here in the second. Nobody out for Carl. He's batting .333 on the year. Cardinals got a good hitting lineup here, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Felix coming in, makes a nice catch. That'll be out number 1. Stan goes back to first. That brings up Charlie James. Charlie's hitting .256 on the year. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. Lou Burdette comes inside on him and hits Charlie. Sure didn't mean to do that. That'll make first and second now with only 1 out. That brings up Bob Lillis, batting .255 on the year. Can Bob do something here for the Cardinals? Already up by 1. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas over near the line. Camps under that one, folks, and makes the catch out number 2. I think I just hit the wrong button. And I did. That ball went to center field instead. We'll redo it that way. That way old Frank gets his put out. Don't want to shortchange him. And that brings up Ray SADECKI now. And what's Ray hitting on the year? He's hitting .176. He's a decent hitting pitcher, folks. I want to take him lightly with 2 outs here. And they did. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And that is going to score Stan the Man Musial. Or will it? Here's the throw home. Stan rounds third. He's a brown-eyed, handsome man. And Frank Thomas throws the ball. Sammy White applies the tag, and they get Stan. Stan is thrown out at home, folks. Nice play by the Braves. It keeps it a 1-run game. And we go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Cardinals. We got Aaron, Adcock, and Thomas due up here. Henry Hank Aaron's batting .306 on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bob Lillis. He's up with it. Fires over to Bill White at first. And that'll be out number 1 for the Braves. That'll bring up Joe Adcock now. Joe's hitting .280 on the year, folks. And that's a pop-up straight up the chute. Mr. Sandusky throws the mask off. Carl camps under it near the screen, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Brings up Frank Thomas, who just made a hell of a throw out there in left field. See if he can duplicate it with the bat here, folks. And he belts that ball in the deep center field. James on his horse going back makes a nice catch and robs Frank Thomas of a base hit. Hey, Beatles. So it's still a 1-0 game as we go to the top of the third. Back to the top of the order here for the Cardinals. Javier, Cunningham, and White. Here's the pitch to Javier. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Felix the Cat's out there today. He camps under it, makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Mr. Joe Cunningham, Mr. C from Happy Days. He popped up to third his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Joe Adcock fields it cleanly. He waves off Lou Burdette, steps on the bag himself, and that'll be out number 2. And up now is going to be Mr. Bill White. He's 0 for 1. He also popped up, but he popped up the short his first time up. That's going to be a base on balls as Bill White walks on down the first. That'll bring up Ken Boyer now. And Ken, with the only run of the game, hit a solo shot his first time up. Here's the pitch to Boyer. And they don't want no parts of him. That's 2 balls and no strikes from Lou. Here's the pitcher hitters count now. Does he take advantage of it? And he sure does, folks. He squares this ball up again. And that's a deep drive into right field. Hits off the top of the wall, though. Not quite a home run. And with Bill White's speed, he'll score easily from first. And it's a 2-0 game. And Ken Boyers drove it in. Both runs for the Cardinals, folks. That brings up the man, Stan the man. And he is 1 for 1 today. And he singled his first time up. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas back on it near the wall. Makes the catch for out number 3. But the Cardinals score 1 on the Boyer double and lead this game 2-0. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves. You got McMillan, White, and Burdette. Mac is hitting 209 on the year. Not doing well at the bat, but he's a hell of a fielder. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Bob Lillis up with it. He fires over the first, and that ball is in the dirt. Bill White scoops it, keeps it in front of him. But Mac's going to be safe at first. So Mac's on with an error for Mr. Sammy White. Sammy's hitting 241 on the year. Let's see if he can get Mac at least in the scoring position here. And he's going to do more than that, I think. He's going to beat out an infield hit, folks. How about that? Nice job by Sammy, showing his catcher speed there, folks. He makes it down the first safe. And that brings up Lou Burdette. And if you've been following this replay, you know he's having a hell of a year at the bat, hitting 306 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Because like me and Beetle says, we don't need no stinking DH. So we're going to let Lou swing away. We're not going to have him bunt with nobody out here. And the bottom of the third, and here's the pitch to Lou. And they don't want no parts of Lou. They walk him. Lou Burdette trots on down the first, and that'll fill the bases up, folks. And with a 2-run lead, the Cardinals are going to play back for the double play. And that'll bring up Felix the Cat Montelia. See if Felix can come through with a big base hit. He flew out to center field his first time up. Here's the pitch to the Cat. And how about that, folks? That ball is hit into center field. And that's going to be deep enough to get Mac home. Nice job by the Cat. So makes it a 2-1 ball game. Now we got first and second with 1 out for Frank Bolin. See if Frank can come up with a base hit here. Tie this ball game up for the Braves. He is 0 for 1 today. He flew out the center his first time up, and we dropped the dice. And that's going to be another base on balls. All of a sudden, Ray's having trouble finding the strike zone, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Cardinals fan. Loading the bases up for Eddie Matthews. Eddie's 0 for 1. He hit in a ground ball down the second his first time up. Can Eddie bust this game loose here, folks, for the Braves? And he does drive that ball into deep center field. And that'll score Mr. White from third. So another sacrifice fly. Now there's 2 outs for Henry Hank Aaron with first and second. So 2 sacrifice flies have tied this game up. Here's Henry Aaron. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out the shortest first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Joe Cunningham over in the gap. Runs over, camps under it, makes the catch for out number 3. But the Braves score 2, but leave 2 on. Kind of disappointing inning for the Braves, but at least they tied it up. We go to the top of the 4th. SADECKI, James, and Lillis due up here for the Cards. Let's see what Carl can do. He's 0 for 1, flew out the centers first time up, but not this time. He belts that ball down the first baseline. Hank can't get to it. That'll roll against the wall. That'll be a stand-up double for Carl. So they got the go-ahead run down at second with nobody out for Charlie James. Charlie, he got hit by pitches last time up. And he's going to get even this time. That's going to be a rocket in the right field. Hank Aaron's over. Carl is going to stop at third. And we got first and third now, folks, with nobody out. And it's up to Bob Lillis now. Braves will play back for a double play here. They'll give up the 1 run. Don't want to give up a big inning here. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can they turn two, folks? And Frank Boland's up with it. He tosses it over to McMillan. Excuse me. Over to first for a double play, but the run does score, folks. And the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead. And that'll bring up Ray now with nobody on and 2 outs. He singled his first time up, folks, and then Frank Thomas with a nice throw home got the runner out. And that's going to be another fly ball out the left field. Frank gets under this one, though, folks, and makes the catch. Hey, Doug. And that'll end the inning. But the Cardinals score another run and make it 3-2 here as we go to the bottom of the fourth. We got Adcock, Thomas, and McMillan due up here for the Braves. Joe is 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Bill White's up with it. He calls off Ray. He's going to take it himself. Touch the bag for out number 1. Brings up Frank Thomas. He flew out the centers first time up. And that's going to be a single over second. That ball's hit in the right field. Cunningham going over, trying to cut it off. And he lets that ball get by him, folks. That's going to be an E9. And that's going to send Frank down to second. A single and on the second on the air by Cunningham. So Frank standing down at second in scoring position for McMillan on the air. See if they can cash in here and tie this game up. Mack, he reached on an air himself the first time and came around the score. And that's going to be a ground ball down the, not even a ground ball, that's a line drive down the second. Frank's going to make it back. They don't double him up. That's 2 down now for Sammy White. Sammy 1 for 1. He scored his last time up. See if he can drive in Frank. It'll take a decent base hit for Frank to score from second with his speed. And that's going to be a pop-up in the infield. And he wants it. Bob Lillis is calling for it. He's near the mound. He makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. And the Braves leave Frank stranded down at second, folks. So we go to the top of the fifth, and the top of the batting orders due up here for the Cardinals. Javier, Cunningham, and White. Here comes Javier. Let's see what happens here. He's 0 for 2 today. And he's going to be 0 for 3 because that's a fly ball in the center field. That is no problem for Felix. He makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Joe Cunningham. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up and grounded out today. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Eddie Matthews. He's up with it near the line. He plants, throws over to first, and they get him. Brings up Bill White now. 2 up, 2 down. And Bill's walked and scored, and then he popped up the short his other time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Frank Thomas can't get to that one, folks. And Bill White standing down at first with 2 outs. for Mr. Ken Boyer. He's having a heck of a game. He's 2 for 2 with both RBI, 2 RBIs on the day, folks. A homer and a double. And they don't want no parts of him, but that's a 2-ball, no strike count on Ken again. And the last time he took this ball deep for a double on a 2-0 count. And they walk him, folks, the hard way in Apba with 2 dice rolls. How about that? Ken Boyer down at first now. Bill White down at second. Might not have been a bad play walking him. So we got first and second now and 2 outs for Lou Burdette. Stan the man's up. He's 1 for 2. He flew out the left his last time up. And he's going to give it a try again. Frank Thomas on his horse near the line. Makes the catch to end the inning. And this game stays at 3-2 as the Cardinals strand 2. We got Lou Burdette to lead off this 5th inning, followed by Montelia and Bolin. Lou walked his first time up, folks. Let's see if he can get a hit here. And that's going to be a swing and a miss to right 3 on Lou. Here comes the cat. See if he can get on, folks. He's 0 for 1. And reached and has a sacrifice fly his last time up. And he gets a hold of this one, though, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. It hits off the wall. And the cat standing down at second with 1 out for Frank Bolin. Tying run in scoring position here. Frank is 0 for 1 with a walk here today. And he gets a hold of this one. All of a sudden, Ray's having problems here. He tees that ball up, and that ball is hit into deep center field. And Charlie's not having a very good day out there, folks. He doesn't field that ball very cleanly, and it's rolling around. And guess what we got? We got us a triple there, Beatles. And Felix scores on that. Hey, Philip. So now you got Frank Bolin down at third for Eddie Matthews with 1 out. The Cardinals are going to bring the infield in against Matthews. Try to cut that run off at the plate. Here's the pitch to Matthews. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly his last time up. And that's going to be a base hit into right field. That's going to score Frank Bolin and make this a 4-3 game. The Braves take the lead here on Matthews' single. And on a 1-1 count, Eddie Matthews is headed down the second, folks. He's trying to steal down there on the 1-1 pitch. Here comes the throw from Carl. They apply the tag, but it's too late, and Matthews is down at second safely, folks. So 1 out now, and it's a 1-2 count on Hank. Let's see if Hank can deliver here. He is 0 for 2 today. 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be a single over second, and that's going to score Matthews. And all of a sudden, Ray can't get out of his own way here, folks. And the Braves score 3 here in the 5th. And that might be it for Ray. Cardinals are looking at the bullpen. See what they got here. It's a first game of a doubleheader. See what they got. They don't have a very deep bullpen. Only 3 men in the bullpen. Sure. Four men in the bullpen. Sorry about that. Can I say 3 didn't seem right. Let's see here. Who are they going to bring in? I think they're going to bring in Bob Miller. Yeah, Bob Miller's going to come in here to pitch. Ray can't make it out of the 5th inning here. Aaron down at first. Joe Adcock's up. 1 out here. And we got Joe Adcock's 0 for 2 today. Cardinals looking for a ground ball, thinking they can double him up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Staying the man's out there today. In the gap in left center. And he's going to make the catch. And that'll be out number 2. That'll bring up Frank Thomas. Frank's 1 for 2 today. He singled his last time up and made it down to second on the error on Cunningham. And that's going to be another fly ball out to stand the man. And again, he's got that one covered. Makes the catch. And that'll do it. As we go to the top of the 6th, it's Braves 5, Cardinals 3. And we got Carl, James, and Lillis due up here in the 6th. And Carl's 1 for 2 with a double and scored. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Carl's having a heck of a game. Frank catches that on a 1 hop, fires it in. That'll bring up Charlie James now. Charlie's 1 for 1, hit by pitch and singled. See if they can get a double play here, folks. And no, they're not. That's going to be another base hit in the center field. And the runner will stop at second. And all of a sudden now, Lou Burdette, with a 2-run lead, not having a good 6th inning here. Brings up Bob Lillis, nobody out. Carl down at second, James at first, and Bob at the plate. And that's a ground ball down the second. Can they turn 2? I'm sorry, that's an infield fly. Down the second, infield fly rules in effect. But Frank makes the catch and makes it official. 1 out here. They're going to have to pitch hit here for Bob Miller. See who they're going to bring out the pitch hit. I think they got most of the lefties already playing. They do. They're going to bring in the switch hitting Red. Red's going to come in here to pitch hit from the left side with first and second and 1 out. Red's hitting 343 on the year, folks. See if he can keep that up. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Eddie Matthews is up with it. He fields it. Has to come in on that one. No play at second. He fires over the first. Runners will advance 1 base. We got second and third now with 2 outs for Javier. He was 0 for 3. He's flown out the left. He's flown out the center twice. Here's the pitch to Javier. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field this time. And Henry Aaron's going back on this one. And he robs Javier of a base hit, folks. Nice play by Hank Aaron on his horse. Takes a single away and saves 2 runs from scoring. And keeps this a 5-3 ball game. Nice play by Hank. Now who's the Cardinals going to bring in here to pitch? Excuse me. And I think they're going to go with McDowell's going to come in here and pitch. Lindy's coming in. He'll be facing McMillan, White, and Burdette, the bottom part of the lineup. Alrighty, here's the pitch to Mac. He's 0 for 2. He scored after he reached on an error. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. McDowell comes in and strikes Mac out. 1 down here in the 6th. Brings up Sammy White. He's 1 for 2 and scored. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Who wants it? Ken Boyer's calling for it. He makes the catch just inside the foul line and third base, and that'll be out number 2. Brings up Lou Burdette, who's 0 for 1. He walked his first time up, and that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Bob Lillis is up with it, and all of a sudden that ball comes out of his glove. He picks it up, throws over to first, but that's too late. Lou Burdette's on an E6, folks. Brings up the Cat. That's the 3rd error by the Cardinals today. And the Cat is 1 for 2, a double and RBI, and he scored. See what he can do against McDowell here. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field. Cunningham goes back near the track, makes the catch, and they strand Lou at first. And we go to the top of the 7th. It is 5-3 Braves. Got Cunningham, White, and Boyer due up here for the Cards. Joe's 0 for 3, popped up, grounded out, and grounded out twice. And that's going to be a base hit in center field for Joe. So they get the lead runner aboard here in the top of the 7th. That brings up Bill White. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and scored. And that's going to be another base hit, this time in the center field also. And just like that, the Cardinals got the tying run on at first. The go-ahead run at the plate. And this is the man you don't want to see up if you're a Braves fan, and that is Ken Boyer, who is 2 for 2 today with a walk, a double, and a home run, folks. And they finally get him out. That's a deep drive in the center field. Felix makes the catch right where he stands. And they're not going to test his arm, folks. Cunningham's going to stay at second for the first out of the game. Now you got Stan the man up. Not very fleet of foot. They're going to look for a double play here. He's 1 for 3. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on old Stan. The 2-0 pitch. And just what the doctor ordered, folks. That ball is hit down to Frank Bowen, over to Mac, over to Joe Adcox, and that's a 4-6-3 double play. We go to the 7th inning stretch. We'll have Frank Bowen, Eddie Matthews, and Henry Hank Aaron due up here in the 7th. And Frank's 1 for 2, having a good game. He's walked, had a triple, and scored, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Stan the man, who just hit into that double play, moves over to his left a few feet, makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Mr. Matthews, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a stolen base today, and scored. And that ball is lifted in the center field. James comes in, takes a few steps in, camps under it, and that'll be out number 2. It's up to Henry Hank Aaron to keep this 7th inning going here, folks. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field. And that'll be an easy catch for Cunningham. And the Braves go down 1-2-3 here in the 7th. I think that's going to be it for Mr. Lou Burdette. And let's see if they're going to go to the lefty. Or do they even have a lefty out in the bullpen? No, they don't. I think they're going to bring in Ray. And I think that's who they're going to bring in here. Raymond or Noteberg. I think it's been a little while since Raymond's pitched. We'll check here. Actually, Don hasn't pitched. We'll bring in Don here to pitch. Try to get through this 8th inning here. If he gets in any trouble, you got Raymond and up in the bullpen. So he's got, hey Ken, hey Mike, you got Carl, James, and Lillis due up, and if they get on, we'll have the pitcher due up. McDaniel, have a pitch hitter for him. Carl's 2 for 3 with a double and he scored. Yeah, exactly, Ken. That was a nice stream by Beatles, that's for sure. Good talk. Here's the pitch to Carl, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Eddie Matthews near the line. He plants, throws over to Joe Adcock, and they get the catcher by a mile. That'll bring up Charlie James. Charlie's having a hell of a game. Hit by a pitch and then came back and has gotten even with him with 2 singles. And here's the pitch to Charlie. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Frank Boland's there. He grabs it, tosses it over to Adcock. 2 up and 2 down for the Cards here in the 8th. That'll bring up Bob Lillis. And he's 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Eddie Matthews out in the grass in left field makes the catch for out number 3. And the Cardinals go down in order, folks. And that'll bring up Adcock, Thomas, and McMillan. Oh, you're welcome, Beatles. Like I say, it was enjoyable, bud. Very enjoyable. Hey, Doug. And here we go. McDaniels is due up. We'll have a pitch hitter for him. And then Javier and Cunningham's due up. See who they're going to bring in the pitch hit here. We'll bring Kurt Flood out here. Try to get some. First, let's get through this inning, huh? Sure, I'm all messed up here. First, you got to get through the bottom of the 8th with that Joe Adcock. And that's going to be a pop-up. Ken Boyer down at third once it makes the catch in fair territory for out number 1. And that'll bring up Frank Thomas. He is 1 for 3. And that's a ground ball down to Bob Lillis at short. He gets it in the hole near second. Plants, throws over to Bill White. 2 up and 2 down. Now Max up. McMillan's 0 for 3, but he did score when he reached on the air. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Charlie James is out there today. He runs over, makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. Cool, Ken. Alrighty. Now we got McDaniels up. We'll have a Kurt Flood pitch hit for him, and then the top of the order in Javier and Cunningham here in the 9th inning. See if Kurt can get on. If anybody gets on, Don will come in here and try to close this game out. They're going to let Noteberg pitch here. Here's the pitch to Kurt Flood. He's hitting 269, not throwing all that well this year so far. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Hank Aaron moves over towards the left near the line, and he camps under it. And that ball is in there for out number 1. I'll bring up Javier now in the top of the 9th. He's 0 for 4. He's due, he says, but he's not going to get her today. That's a high fly ball in the center field. The cat's out there. He makes the catch for out number 2. And it's all up to Joe Cunningham to keep this game alive. He's 1 for 4. Popped up to third, grounded out the first, grounded out the third, and got a single his last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Don walks him, brings a tying run up to the plate, and Bill White, are they going to let him pitch to him? I believe they are. But if it gets to Ken Boyer, they'll bring in Don. So here's the pitch to Bill White. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Thomas. Frank Boland. That's the second time I messed that up. He's up with it. He fires over the first to get White. And that'll end the game, folks. And the Braves win 5-3. Let's take a look at the box score here. Game number 1 of this doubleheader. Cardinals 3 runs on 11 hits and 3 errors. They out-hit the Braves by 5, but the Braves get to where it counts. 5 runs on 6 hits and no errors. Bill White had a nice game. Ken Boyer had an awesome game. They wasted that good game by Ken. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Stan the Man had a hit. Carl and James, he was 2 for 3 and 2 for 4 respectively. The Cardinals was only 2 for 10 and runners in scoring position. Yeah, way to go. Braves is right, Doug. Close game. Let's see here. Braves didn't do much with the bats. Everybody had a hit but Adcock and McMillan. It's the only ones that didn't have a hit. They spread them out, but they came through when they needed it. Eddie Matthews with 2 RBIs on the day. Of course, you had that big triple by Frank Boland. Braves was 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position, so they got the key hits when they needed it. Old Sandusky, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned. Those errors killed him. 2 walks and a strikeout. Miller came in and pitched 2/3 of an inning, shut him down. McDowell pitched 3 innings and struck out 1. Lou Burdette gets the win. 7 innings, 11 hits, spread them out over those 7 innings. Gave up 3 runs, walked 2, didn't strike out a soul. Gave up 1 home run. And Noteberg comes in, gets his first save, a 2-inning save. Walked 1. Nice piece of pitching. Irish Club, Beatles says. All righty, folks. I want to thank Beatles for stopping by. Check out his channel. Like I said, we had a nice baseball game, the Yankees, and then a nice talk over there. He had Michael that does all the stadiums for Out of the Park on there, along with Christopher. Check out that. Like I said, a hell of a nice chat. Doug Hunt's here today. And Michael, he was in here today. Philip Reynolds was here. And Beetle gets the MV bobblehead doll that doesn't fit through the door. I haven't seen MV today yet. Oh, you're welcome, buddy. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Knowing you're way out of Milwaukee, hit that like and leave a comment. Oh, you're welcome, Doug. I don't know if I'll do the second game of this doubleheader later or not. Mike's still here. Like I say, Mike does a great job with the out of park stadiums. I use them on here on Digital Diamond and on Action PC, folks. Does a great job. Alrighty, folks. Until next time, y'all have a great evening and y'all take care.